Hey friends, welcome back to the shop this week for another episode as we continue on Project Herald. And I think it was maybe 2 episodes ago, maybe 3 by this time, when I said, damn it! This is another one of those moments, unfortunately.
Unforeseen.
Yeah, unforeseen. I will not say unforeseen. For me, I will say that my inexperience with these motors just didn't catch it. And we did a lot of work that we now have to reverse and do all over again. So, to get you up to speed on what I'm talking about, I actually connected with a guy here locally that has a shop that is very familiar with big block Chevy motors. I wanted him to come over and check the tuning on this and the timing, because it's rough, and I wanted to make sure before we did anything else we got that ironed out. So Reggie over at R R Automotive came over to the house, started looking at things. We determined that the carburetor is actually bad. It did come off of a 383. It does have all types of tuning issues with it that has to be corrected. So I'm going to attempt to rebuild the carburetor for the first time ever. So we'll see how that goes.
He is.
I am, I guess.
He is.
Before I spend 10 times as much as a repair kit on a new one. So while we were standing here, Reggie and I talking, he happened to grab one of the radiator hoses and asked why there was no fluid in it. And I thought, well, maybe just the fluid that we put in the cold case episode had just settled down, and that's why. Well, as he grabbed another one of the radiator hoses, there was a sound. I didn't know it. I hadn't even squeezed any of the hoses before to see. And he immediately looked at me and was like, oh, that's not good. So let me show you exactly what we're talking about. So one, there was no fluid in the hose here that kind of triggered him to test the others. This was okay, but there was a slight sound. Then he grabbed the bottom radiator hose, and that clicking is not normal. And what he said was the actual propeller or impeller in the water pump itself is malfunctioning, and that's why it's clicking. So here we are having to back everything out with the radiator in order to get the water pump off. So in comes the new Edelbrock water pump. This is the 8854. After looking at so many different freaking options and trying to decide whether we're going to do an upgrade with an aluminum or stick with the OEM cast iron, and the positives and the negatives for both, and the rabbit hole that I went down multiple nights, I decided, hey, it's almost a 10-pound difference between the two. If I could shave a few pounds off, upgrade the performance, yeah, it's significantly more expensive. Hopefully it will last a long time. So we're going to go ahead and add this in today.
Did you just call Harold fat?
Yeah, it comes with age. The older you get, the pounds just happen to show up. I don't know how. All right, so let's go ahead, drain the radiator, pull the front end back off again.
Woo!
And take this water pump off. Also, this is going to help because in an upcoming episode, once the part shows up, we have to install a new crank pulley because I have learned that I am missing one of the two, and the one that we're missing is for the power steering.
I mean, you don't need power steering.
Don't need it. No,
but it helps.
No, I mean, we can build our forearm strength up a little bit. We could. But why? I mean, it's a cheap part, so let's just go ahead and make everything work. All right, let's get back into this. Gosh. The good thing is that we're really getting good at this part of it.
The bad thing is, we're really getting good at this part of it.
Yeah. Let's get going. like that, with the help of movie magic, the front end is back off again. So, time to get this water pump off.
Yeah, just, you know.
Hey!
Don't do that.
Here's our pretty new. This backing plate. We'll use all the new hardware and gaskets. Significantly lighter. So excited to get this one in there. Oh, and I just noticed that the pipe flanges are actually taken out, so I'm gonna have to put them on the vise to get them back out of the other one. I did not even notice that. Did you notice that?
No.
Yep.
Why would I notice that? I want you to go to your new home. Making me look bad. There we go. Well, I got it started.
Okay, that's all I need. We'll tighten it up when it's mounted.
Thanks for entrusting me with all this screwing.
Nicely done.
Yeah, the secret to those is eyeing up where the threads start in the new water pump.
While we were working on the other parts, our 3-groove pulley came in. This I actually ordered off of eBay. Significantly cheaper than any of the regular companies I order parts from, and it's just as good. Plus it's black, no shiny chrome to worry about, so we're going to go ahead and get this installed now. everything is back on now, just to do the deed of torquing it down. If you're like us and go the budget friendly, as Dana calls it, the Harbor Freight torque wrenches.
Pittsburgh brand.
Yeah.
Dial in.
They work for a while, and then everything you do is click, 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 so you have no idea whether you're on the mark or you're off the mark. So we decided just to toss that one and step up our game. I purchased a AC Delco, the digital torque wrenches, and this is from Amazon. I'll post the link on there. This was the smaller of the two, but we have a larger one that will cover anything of a higher foot-pounds. So at least this one, for all the engine parts, now we have it covered, and it's within 0.3% of a discrepancy on it, so pretty damn accurate.
More accurate than the budget-friendly Pittsburgh.
Yes. Click, click. Which I cut out of this episode, but I initially tried to torque these bolts, and everything was like click, click. No matter where I put it, it was click, and I was like, this is not good.
I'm gonna laugh if this just clicks.
Well, that just means that I already put it there. I already put it to where it needed to go.
So what are we torquing it to?
Oh, water pump is at 30 pounds for the big block 402, and then our pulley bolts, the non-harmonic balancer bolt, is at 40 pounds. So we'll take care of the water pump first.
That was an angrier sound.
That was angry, like, stop. Oh, that's right. It gives a warning when it's close.
Oh.
Yes.
So it's like a woman.
Okay.
That's kind of nifty.
Yeah, definitely kind of nifty. So the AC Delco is great for lower numbers, which Dana's bigger one did not cover. So since it will only go up to 37 pounds, we got to switch to the big boy.
Big boy. So this is still budget friendly. I picked this up back when I was working on my Forester. This is an EP Auto 1/2-inch drive, click style, dial in torque wrench. And I got this on Amazon way back when. It'll go from 25 foot-pounds all the way up to 250.
So a good overlap, but also big enough for wheels and things like that.
Wheels, axle nuts, you know, whatever.
Have you ever heard the old adage, one step forward, two steps back? Well, Dan and I are living it again. As you saw, we were torquing down our bolts up top, our bolts on the water pump, and on the crank pulley on the harmonic balancer. Well, we discovered that those bolts are the actual threads for the bolt holes are actually stripped, so we could not crank them down. So that leads us to a new harmonic balancer. Had to get the install tool, and AutoZone hooked us up with the harmonic balancer puller via their tool loaner program. So no cost there. Pretty damn cool. All right. The removal and install of these look pretty straightforward. So we're going to go ahead and get into that now. This center bolt was, oh man, that was a pain in the ass. So put in 2 of our bolts there, had Dana hold this with the crowbar in order to be able to finally get this loosened up.
All right, we're going to take a little bit of white lithium grease, put it right inside this lip, hopefully helping it slide on top of that a little bit easier. And we're going to put a little bit of anti-seize on our threads here. Well, this nut right here was so damn big, I didn't even have a wrench or pliers to actually fit it, so I had to go to Harbor Freight and pick up a new one. All right, the only thing left, put our crankshaft bolt and washers back in. Torque these bad boys down. Torque this down to 85 pounds. And then we'll be able to go ahead and put our pulley back on, get our belts back on, and finally wrap up this piece of this job. Okay, end of this episode. Now, we're going to end up doing some changes in regards to our videos and video formats, where instead of doing an episode on every single thing that we do, we're not going to do that anymore. So if you're into that and you feel that we should, let us know. But otherwise, we're only going to do videos for the larger pieces, larger replacements, you know, like a big milestone kind of thing. And
Or videos where we feel it would really benefit you, our viewers.
Yes, yeah, that's another thing. We will end up going back to the root of why we created the channel, and if there is a lack of something out there online on how to do it, we will be the guinea pig of figuring it out, and we'll make a video, and hopefully it'll help others out. So thank you very much for watching this episode. We certainly appreciate you, and until next episode, take care, stay safe. We'll see you soon. Bye.